Hi, I'm Jerimiah Moerke, now on Commuter Connections. It was full speed ahead for nearly 2 years to construct a major new facility for MDOT MTA's MARC train. We'll take you there for a visit. MDOT MTA is looking for a few good mechanics to fill its ranks. Perhaps you have the skills and experience to be a part of the team. We'll talk technology and transit, including how to use the MTA Charm Pass for your next transit ride, and the new Mobility All Access tool that enhances MDOT MTA mobility bookings, cancellations, and more. Plus a visit to the Lily Carroll Jackson Civil Rights Museum. All on this edition of Commuter Connections. A new $64 million facility for MARC Train is set to begin full operation later this year. The new Riverside Heavy Maintenance Facility is designed to allow MARC Train to improve service and operate more efficiently for decades to come. Amy Friedman takes you inside and shows you how MARC riders will benefit from this investment.
3, 2, 1.
A cut of the ribbon and a round of applause marked the end of construction and the beginning of a testing and commissioning period for the new MARC Riverside facility, a project on an aggressive timeline.
It was just April of 2021 that we broke ground on this facility, and the fact that it's an entire building with rail cars in it at this point is just fantastic and exciting.
We are celebrating just a memorable dedication for your MARC Riverside facility, maintenance facility. It's just phenomenal just to see the beautiful locomotives, the beautiful facility.
So this is really behind the scenes. You know, it's important for us to better maintain our vehicles, improve the safety of our vehicles, improve the reliability of our vehicles. So riders don't always, see that immediately, but ultimately what it means is better reliability, better on-time performance for our riders.
MARC Train Director Dean Del Pescio showed us some of the key features of the building, features that will transform the engines that drive MARC every day.
So right now we have a main shop building that's 40 years old, and it was designed for maybe 25 locomotives, and we now have 48. So we're just busting at the seams. So we've built a heavy maintenance building. It has 4 maintenance bays, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will allow us to move all of our heavy repairs from our main shop building to this building, and then we'll be able to do a PM line, preventative maintenance, and periodic inspection line in the main shop building, and that's going to really streamline our maintenance, allow us to do it more efficiently and quicker, and make sure that we have equipment available for service.
A massive crane system that can lift equipment weighing tens of thousands of pounds is just one of the new tools MARC maintenance workers will rely on.
So the crane is a 30-ton overhead crane. You can see that it has 2 hoists or hooks. The main hook on the left is 30 tons. The hook on the right is a 10-ton auxiliary hoist. The reason we have a 10-ton auxiliary hoist, maybe you don't want to use the 30-ton. The 30-ton's a little slower. So if you're lifting something that's smaller, you can use the 10-ton and it's a lot quicker.
It's a huge upgrade from the current procedure.
Right now, we get a mobile crane that comes on site. It lifts everything. We then have to have the semi-truck with trailer come same day. The crane will lift it onto there. You're doing it outside. You're doing it in the ballast. You're doing it on the road. You're doing it on the tracks. It's really not ideal.
Not far from the crane system is another major upgrade, a new drop table, which is a special piece of equipment used to change out wheel sets and perform other crucial maintenance procedures.
So this is a 100-ton drop table. It will allow us to drop trucks, which are actually the metal assembly that has the wheels on trains, and then it will also allow us to drop wheel sets and combos, which are wheel sets with motors that are attached.
But perhaps the crown jewel of the new state-of-the-art facility is the Wheel True Machine, a key piece of equipment to keep the locomotives and passenger cars safe by removing cracks and other defects that form on wheels over time.
The Wheel True Machine allows us to bring a piece of rolling stock in. The wheel sits on the Wheel True Machine, and there are cutting heads. And the cutting heads spin the wheel. It actually lifts, the Wheel True Machine lifts the locomotive slightly so the wheels are off the rail. And then the cutting heads rotate the wheel and cut the wheel profile as it goes.
MARC's new Wheel True Machine is the first of its kind in the country.
So they will go and cut the profile in the wheel, and then the Wheel True Machine has a an inspection, an automatic inspection system that uses sensors and stuff like that, and it will actually confirm the wheel profile, show you a line drawing of the wheel profile that it's cut, and then show that it meets APTA 340. So it's fully automated in that sense that it will check the wheel that it has cut to make sure that it is compliant.
Even though MARC riders won't see the facility firsthand, it will make a big difference in the service they receive.
In the long run, this is a game changer for MARC. It provides capabilities that we don't have today that will allow us to deliver our mission of providing safe, efficient, and reliable transit with world-class customer service for our customers.
For Commuter Connections, I'm Amy Friedman.
The MARC Riverside Heavy Rail Maintenance Building is expected to be fully operational later this summer. The facility also supports future projects for MARC Train, including the proposed Penn-Camden connection, a commuter rail link between those two lines. It is also an enabling project for the future Frederick Douglass Tunnel project. You may have seen the ads. MDOT MTA is looking for mechanics to maintain and repair buses, light rail, and metro subway vehicles. The positions pay quite well and come with excellent benefits. MDOT MTA's Doug Reed is a bus mechanic at MTA's Bush Division. He joins me now to talk about his career with the agency and what it takes to do the job. Thanks for chatting with me today, Doug. I appreciate you spending some time with us. Tell us a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis and how long have you been with MTA?
I've been with the MTA about 40 years. It's an enjoyable company to work for. I'm a mechanic and do a lot of mechanical work. We're very busy and just a nice job to have.
And what are some examples of some things you do just on a day-to-day basis?
Well, we pretty much do everything. Anything from changing tires to working on the lights to working on the engines, transmissions, a lot of electrical work, a lot of emission work.
So you name it, you guys do it.
That's correct.
Okay. And why did you decide to come to work for MTA?
Well, I was liked fiddling with things ever since I was very young and became a mechanic. And I thought this might be a nice career here at the company, and it turned out to be correct.
So once you do get your foot in the door and once you do start, what sort of advancement or training opportunities are there within the maintenance mechanic area?
Well, you'll start off once you're accepted. You'll work with another mechanic for a few months and get your foot in the door. If you're an automotive mechanic at this point, we'd welcome you greatly. That means you already have some good skills to you. So please apply.
And beyond that, I understand there's a lot of specialization within the department. What sort of training or advancement opportunities does MTA provide?
Well, we have an HVA shop where you'll specialize in air conditioning and heating systems. You'll get additional training with that, but if you can bring some skills with you, all the better. We have a engine shop where you can work on the engines, installing them and replacing them. Same with the transmissions. We have a brake shop where you'll do nothing but brakes. And a few other things on occasions when we're behind the other shops. But yes, there's lots of opportunity, lots of places to go.
So you've been there a long time. You've seen a lot of people come and go. What are some qualities that make for a good mechanic or repairman?
Oh, someone who likes to take things apart and fiddle with things. Somebody who's curious and wants to learn. Yeah, the opportunity's all over the place. You can go into management here. I mean, we've had people go all the way to the top of the MTA from being a mechanic or a driver. So, you know, there's no limit.
So really, the sky's the limit in that regard.
That's so true here, so true.
How has your employment at MTA made a difference in your life?
Oh, well, it's made a great difference in my life. It's been a wonderful career for me. I enjoy it. I raised 5 children and had a wife. So I think I've done reasonably well in life, and I'm happy with it.
And how are the benefits?
Oh, we have wonderful benefits. You have dental, medical, eyeglass program. You don't have to worry about the bills so much when it comes to the medical here.
One of the best out there is what I hear.
I agree with that. I really do.
Doug, what would you tell someone who's interested in applying but hesitant about whether or not they want to?
Well, if you're curious about mechanics and you've done a little tinkering, please apply. You know, it can't hurt to get a no answer. The odds are we'll hire you and we'll train you.
Thank you, Doug. We appreciate your time. And if you want more information about these positions, log on to www.mta.maryland.gov. And it's not just Doug encouraging you to consider a career as an MTA mechanic. Here are a handful of his colleagues from the bus, light rail, and metro subway divisions talking about why they enjoy working at MTA.
So the best part about working here at the MTA is basically getting to know new things. Coming from the automotive/diesel side, working here on the light rail is completely different for me, only because it's not anything engine-wise, everything is all electric. So it's a complete different transformation from working from engines to just electrical stuff. So I really like it.
It's the best job I've ever had, partially because of the pay and the benefits and the opportunity. There's a lot of direction you can go. And currently, I'm a graphic designer. I do graphics, I maintain, I create, produce graphics for the bus. I enjoy what I do every day because of the job that I do. I like to create. So if you like to create, this is definitely the place for you, at least the body shop.
The best part about working for MTA for me is the ability to be challenged every day, to use my skills and my background as being in the automotive field for the past 15 or so years. Getting to work with a different group of guys, whether it's guys coming in early, guys staying over late, getting to build relationships with some good guys that do good work, and we all have a common goal.
I love working here. I love repairing the trains. I love working on the trains. Something different every day and keeps you guessing, but it also helps that you're helping people get to and from work. You're helping people live their lives and do the things they need to do, but you're also involved in that.
The best part of working for MTA light rail is basically my co-workers. We have good communication with each other. We also play a good important part of helping people get to work, various destinations they want to get to. So our job is to keep the light rails functioning properly. That way people get to the destination safely.
Coming up next, we'll introduce you to the MDOT MTA Charm Pass and how it will make your next transit ride an easier one. Stay with us. To make your transit experience the very best, MDOT MTA has a fast and convenient way for you to pay your fare right from your smartphone. It's called the Charm Pass. MDOT MTA's Tani Gupta has a look at just how easy and convenient the Charm Pass is to use.
Hi, I'm Tani Gupta with MDOT MTA's real-time passenger information team, here today to talk about how to make your next trip as convenient as possible. Have you ever wondered how to use your phone to pay for transit rides? Well, for that, you can use MTA's mobile ticketing app, the Charm Pass. As soon as you download the app, you then need to create an account and will then land on this home screen. On the Tickets tab, you'll choose Buy Tickets. From here, you choose which type of service you're about to ride. Your options are Baltimore Link, which includes local bus, express bus, metro subway, or light rail in the Baltimore metro area, MARC train, or commuter bus. You'll also note that Baltimore services are all flat fare, independent of your route, whereas for MARC and commuter bus, you'll have to select your origin and destination to then buy your ticket. Since we're going to jump on a local bus, we'll choose Baltimore Link. From here, you're choosing your type of fare. And again, there's a few different options to choose the fare that's the best for your trip type. These options include a single one-way pass, a day pass, the Charm Flex Pass options, 7-day and 31-day passes, which give you discounted rates based on which trip you're about to take. Once you add in a payment method, which can include debit or credit cards, PayPal, or Google Pay, you simply check out and confirm. You can buy as many or as few tickets as you need. They're stored on the app for up to 3 years, so you're good there. Once you've got your tickets on your app and you want to jump on a bus or a train, here's all you need to do. When you're about to board, click on one of your tickets and choose the green Use Ticket button at the bottom. Then this screen pops up. When you're hopping on a local bus or commuter bus, you simply show the operator this screen and you're good to go. If you're riding a light rail or a MARC train, activate the pass and show the screen upon request. For Metro Subway, just show the subway attendant. And best part of all, if you're riding light rail, local bus, or metro, your active ticket will allow for transfers within 90 minutes. Now, if you're traveling with multiple people, let's say a child or a friend, you can activate multiple tickets in the Charm Pass. To show the operator, simply swipe right. I hope you'll agree that the Charm Pass app is pretty easy to use, and it'll make your transit experience even better.
The Charm Pass app is available for both Apple and Android devices. For more information, go to mta.maryland.gov/charmpass. The Charm Pass isn't the only tool to make your ride on MTA services easier. MDOT MTA Mobility Link now has a new, convenient app and website for its paratransit patrons. Christopher Dodd, Mobility's Assistant Manager, joins me with more on Mobility All Access and some of its great new features that will make riding mobility even easier. Chris, thanks for spending a few minutes with us talking about this great new resource. Can you briefly start by reminding our viewers what Mobility Link is and who it serves?
So Mobility Link is MTA's paratransit transportation. We serve our vulnerable customers with cognitive and physical disabilities to be able to get them to the resources and to the things that they need to get to, whether it's work, doctor's appointments. So we do that on a daily basis. We run 24/7, 365 days a year, rides all day, every day, nonstop. So that's what Mobility Link is. It connects the most vulnerable people in our population to everyday resources.
How did Mobility All Access come to be, and when was it launched?
We wanted to expand on our former app or our former web base where for booking trips for the customers so they could do it on their own. That was called PassWeb. So we wanted to expand on that. So in conjunction with our core developer, Trapeze, we started developing this new app in late 2021, launched on February the 2nd, 2023.
And what does this new tool do for riders that the previous one didn't?
So the great thing about this new tool is that it allows riders the ability to go in, book their trips. It's unlimited. You can book as many trips as you want. Now, the previous PassWeb allowed them to do that, but new features now include email notifications when you do book a trip, email notifications when you cancel a trip, a real-time intermittent, that's very important to remember, real-time intermittent view of the mobility vehicle when it's 15 minutes out from your location. So at that 15-minute mark, when that mobility vehicle is 15 minutes away from your front door to pick you up, you'll get a notification on your device saying, hey, your mobility vehicle number 1234 is headed your way. It'll be there in 15 minutes. And with the intermittent real-time view, every minute that bus on the Google map will update. So every minute you'll see that it's getting closer and closer to you. And that's one of the best features with this new app. You can track your bus, you know when it'll be there, you know what time it'll be there, you'll know if it's going to show up a little bit late, you'll know if it's going to get there a little bit early. And that really eliminates the need to call the call center, the late line, to say, hey, my bus is 5 minutes late, where is it? You'll know that, hey, it's running a few minutes behind just from checking that app, and it gives you all of the information that you need right there in the palm of your hand.
It really sounds like a game changer in that regard.
Definitely, 100%. Now, of course, if you reach that 30-minute window after your trip was booked and you don't know where the bus is, you didn't get that alert that, hey, it's on its way, give us a call and we'll try to figure out exactly where it is for you.
Sure, that makes sense. So why did MDOT MTA develop this tool?
We developed this tool to give some more control to the customer. They can go directly onto our user-friendly interface. Even if you're not the most computer literate or phone literate or you're not good with technology, this interface is so user-friendly that anybody could use it.
Chris, can you tell us a little bit about the trip routing features?
Of course. Like I said, 24 hours a day you can go in and book a trip. You want to get up on Saturday morning and go to the grocery store. Then after the grocery store, you want to go over to the Target. After Target, you want to go to your dialysis appointment. And then after dialysis, you're ready to go back home. You can book all of those trips in conjunction with each other on a All Access app. It's unlimited trips and it's available 24 hours a day. And with it being available 24 hours a day, it gives you that control and that power to be able to confirm all of your trips at any time. You don't have, there's no need to call the call center. And that's what our hope is, to get the majority of people booking trips on this app.
That makes a lot of sense. And how does a rider get the app, and what do they see when they download that app?
So to get the app, you can download it from the Google Play Store, the Android Play Store, or the iOS Apple App Store. It's 100% free. And as I said, when you log onto the app, you'll see a user-friendly interface. You'll see, if you booked trips before, you can see previous trips. If you have recurring trips, you'll see that. You'll see scheduled trips that you have. You'll see trips that were canceled. You'll see trips that were completed. You'll see a place for you to go in to click on. It's called Book Trips, where you go in there and you set up your trip for exactly where you need to go. It's a place for you to go in there to send information to our customer service team in case you need to update your subscription, in case you need to, update your personal data. It's a one-stop shop.
So what about ADA accessibility on this app?
The Mobility All Access app is ADA and web content accessibility guidelines compliant, as well as screen reader compliant, so anyone can use it.
Great. Well, Chris, thank you again for your time today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Coming up next, we'll visit a museum that chronicles Baltimore's rich contribution to the civil rights movement.
Life is a journey, and you are starting to realize what choices you have ahead. This path you are on is the road to your future. Today's decisions help you discover your tomorrow. Every decision you make, even the smallest ones, will shape your life and the person you become in ways that you can't predict. Choose wisely.
See tracks? Think train. Visit oli.org to learn more.
Maryland is a state rich in history with so many historic places of interest. But there's no place like the Lillie Carroll Jackson Civil Rights Museum, which honors a giant in Baltimore's civil rights history. Joining me with more on the museum is its Associate Director and Curator, Dr. Iris Lee Barnes. Dr. Barnes, welcome to Commuter Connections. For those who aren't familiar with her, who was Lillie Carroll Jackson?
Mrs. Jackson referred to herself as a freedom fighter. She was an activist in the civil rights movement and the president of the Baltimore chapter of the NAACP. She worked with the community to make it a more equitable place to live, step by step, ending segregation and discrimination in Maryland. And not just Maryland, a lot that happened here in Baltimore impacted the nation. And certainly her work with her allies, Thurgood Marshall, Clarence Mitchell Jr., her daughter Juanita Jackson Mitchell, came together and tackled all these issues that make life, easier for us today. So, for example, through the Baltimore chapter, Brown v. versus the Board of Education was started here. So she was that mother of the civil rights movement, starting long before people like Rosa Parks, starting in the 1930s. But she mentored Rosa Parks as well as Martin Luther King in her actions.
Wow, that's incredible. Turning to the museum, how long has the museum in her honor existed, and how did it come to be?
Well, it was Mrs. Jackson's idea. She wrote in her will that she wanted the home to become a museum because of the segregation laws or actions of local museums where her daughter Virginia couldn't go to museums. Her daughter Virginia couldn't go to the local art school, Micah. And she said, don't worry, you'll have your own museum one day and I'll help you. So when she said, when I pass, I want to turn my home into a museum that honors those civil rights leaders who have worked so hard. So her daughter, Virginia, led the charge. And so the Jackson Mitchell family opened the museum first in 1978. And then in 1996, Morgan State University acquired it, did a lot of restoration over 20 years, a lot of restoration work, interpretation, and you know, we even have documentary film. And then it reopened in 2016. So it's been a process.
An evolving process, it sounds like. So what are some of the highlights of the museum that people would see when they visit?
So the museum, it's at the crossroads of two historic districts, Bolton Hill and Marble Hill. So it's an actual row home that's been restored. So it looks very modest on the outside, but when you come inside, it's beautiful. It's 3 floors, 6 galleries, 2 period rooms. And as beautiful as it is, you're still confronted with such things as the history, America's dark history, really, that contrasts with the beauty of the home. You're going to be confronted with that flag, a man was lynched yesterday. And that was so important because it was the lynchings that continued to take place in the U.S. that galvanized Ms. Jackson as well as her allies. It was certainly one of the leading missions of the NAACP to end lynching and to get anti-lynching legislation passed. So you're going to see a variety of things in those period rooms, some of her items and artifacts, as well as beautiful photographs and original documents and all of that. It's just a beautiful, beautiful interpretation of her life and the life of those who helped her to make America more equitable.
How many people come to see the museum every year?
Well, you know, like most museums, we were impacted by COVID, but as we're gearing back up with school groups coming in, and you know, we're heading into a couple of thousand. So I hope the numbers increase. Come visit us, bring your group, or just come on in if you're in the neighborhood. So we hope to increase those numbers with our curriculum that we recently developed. Certainly working with the teachers in Baltimore City Public Schools, that has really helped increase the numbers. And really, what's important to us is to get the stories out so that these children who live here in Baltimore are proud of their history and their leadership in the civil rights movement.
And we should mention, where is the museum located? What is the cost? The basics?
So the museum is located at 1320 Utah Place, kind of at the corner of Lafayette and Utah. And as I mentioned, in the 2 historic districts, Bolton Hill and Marble Hill, not far from Martin Luther King Boulevard. It's free when you just want to come visit. It is free of charge. It is free for Baltimore Public School groups to come. Now, we do charge $7 for groups that we give tours that are docent-led tours, and $5 if you want to do a virtual tour.
And final question for you, how would viewers get additional information about the museum?
Just come to our website, lilycaroljacksonmuseum.org, or you can give us a call, 443-885-5300.
I appreciate your time today, Dr. Barnes.
Thank you so much for having me.
That wraps up this edition of Commuter Connections. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time.